They have covered conflict and war around the world, but two freelance photojournalists say what happened to them in downtown Detroit recently was a first. Good evening to you and welcome to 7 Action News at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Dave Llewellyn. Now a Detroit police officer has been suspended, accused of firing rubber bullets at the journalists for no justifiable reason. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig talked to two of the journalists. She joins us now live. And Kim, what are they telling you about this?
Yes, Dave and Carolyn, these journalists say they loudly identified themselves. Their cameras were around their necks and still they were hit.
It happened so quick, and just kind of like in shock. I looked down and saw a bunch of blood.
Matthew Hatcher was left bleeding after 3 of these rubber pellets hit him in the face. Seth Harold was hit in the hand, but it was Nicole Hester, a journalist with M Live, who suffered the most injuries.
Nicole was like in shock and screaming and crying, and she initially thought that she perhaps had lost an eye because one of the pellets hit like right here above her eye.
It happened just after midnight, May 31st, and we're told nearby surveillance cameras captured the incident. The 3 photographers had been on assignment covering the protests in downtown Detroit. They were wrapped up and heading back to their car near Woodward and State Street when they saw several Detroit police officers.
We came around the corner and we had put our hands up and we were trying to explain. We were yelling pretty loud. We're press.
They're 15 feet away, 15, 20 feet away. They totally heard it. The officer that shot us, they didn't say anything. He didn't say anything at all. He just, from about 15 feet, raised the gun to his shoulder and pulled the trigger.
And what Seth said he heard an officer tell Nicole certainly seemed like what happened was no accident.
He scoffed at the idea of the freedom of the press and told Nicole to perhaps maybe write the truth someday, lady, and walked away.
John Heiner heads up news operations for M Live.
It makes it almost personal that these weren't police officers just doing their job, keeping the peace, that they had some kind of animus towards the press for even being there doing their jobs.
It is an allegation, and based on evidence that we became aware of, I made a decision to suspend for now and continue our investigative work.
We should be able to operate within our constitutional rights without being targeted, and if that's going to be suppressed, our rights are going to be suppressed as members of the press, then, we're not working no longer in a democratic country.
And Matthew and Seth said what happened to them was wrong but minor compared to the injuries on journalists by police around the country covering protests. We will certainly keep you updated on any charges involving the officer, in this case, an officer who has now been suspended. Reporting live in downtown Detroit, Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News.
Kim, a lot of people don't know that those rubber bullets really hurt and really do damage. Are these journalists considering hiring an attorney and maybe going to court, or they're just going to wait and see what happens with Chief Craig?
I think these journalists and also M Live, they're in a wait-and-see approach. They say they are looking for actually more transparency. Mr. Heiner from M Live says he's looking for more transparency from the police department because right now he says it feels like they have to keep reaching out to the police department to find out what's going on with the case.
All right, Kim, thank you so much for the live report.